Over this worksheet that is labeled mole calculation worksheet. So let's go over the answers to this thing. So the first question says, how many moles are in 15 grams of lithium? The first thing you need to know is that 1 mole of lithium is 6.941 grams. Where did this come from? This comes from the periodic table. You don't memorize this. Well, you can if you want. You do not need to memorize it. It's on the periodic table. On this chapter on stoichiometry, as well as actually the entire book, or this entire year, you don't need to memorize the stuff on the periodic table. The molar mass is found in the periodic table. I don't have a periodic table in front of me right now, but that 6.941 grams, that is the molar mass that's found on the periodic table. So now I have a conversion factor. I can change moles into grams or grams into moles. The question says I have 15 grams of lithium. Again, I have a conversion factor. 6.941 grams of lithium in a mole of lithium. 6.941 grams of lithium in a mole of lithium. So doing this, notice grams cancel out. The answer will be whatever 15 divided by 6.941 is, and you should have gotten 2.2. You don't be technical, 2 sig figs. Let's not worry about sig figs right now, but yes, 2 sig figs, 4 sig figs, the answer will have 2 sig figs. Okay, the next question. Next question says, how many grams are in 2.4 moles of sulfur? From the periodic table, I know that 1 mole of sulfur is 32.066 grams. If you looked at other periodic tables, it might say 32.07, and that's just purely a rounding thing. Okay, so don't worry about that too much. Some periodic tables are rounded. The one on the wall says 32.066 grams. So, well, if 1 mole weighs 32 grams, how much would 2.4 mole weigh? Well, that kind of makes sense. Well, one of them weighs 32, so 2.4 of them will weigh 2.4 times 32, or mathematically, that's 7.7, or not 77 grams. 2 sig figs, 2 sig figs. And again, for right now, don't worry about sig figs, but yes, technically, rules of sig figs apply. Okay, third one, how many moles are in 22 grams of argon? So first question, how much does 1 mole of argon weigh? You look on a periodic table, and you should find that 1 mole argon weighs 39.948 grams. Again, if you looked at some other periodic tables, it might be rounded differently. 22 grams divided by 39.948 grams of argon is 0.55 moles, 2 sig figs. Next question says, how many grams are in 88.1 moles of magnesium? Well, look on a periodic table. 1 mole of magnesium weighs 24 grams. 1 mole of magnesium is 24 grams, so 88 moles would be 88 times 24, or mathematically, 2140 grams. 3 sig figs, 3 sig figs. Question number 5. Question number 5 says, how many moles are in 2.3 grams of phosphorus? Again, look up the conversion. Oh, well, I have the answer right there. I didn't mean to uncover it so quickly, but 1 mole of phosphorus weighs 30.97 grams. So 2.3 grams divided by 30.97 is 0.074 moles. Okay, change. How many grams are in 11.9 moles? First step, find how many grams in a mole of chromium. And on a periodic table, 1 mole of chromium weighs 52 grams. So 11.9 moles would be 11.9 times 52, or 619 grams. 3 sig figs, 4 sig figs, 3 sig figs. Question number 7. Oops. Question number 7. How many moles are in 9.8 grams of calcium? And so 9.8 grams of calcium, well, you should find out that 1 mole of calcium is 40 grams. So 9.8 grams divided by 40 grams is 0.24 moles. Okay. What's the answer for number 8? You should have gotten 17,830 grams. I think yeah, okay, don't worry about it. Technically 3 sig figs. I probably should round it out to 3 sig figs or 17800. Again, I didn't round that one in terms of sig figs correctly, but you get the point. Okay, so the rest of these, so number 9 through 14, what is the molecular weights of the following compounds? Let's start with, actually, yeah, let's start with, I have number 12 over there. So let's start with number 12. So for number 12, H3PO4, that is 3 hydrogens, 1 phosphorus, 4 oxygens. So 3 hydrogen, 1 phosphorus, 4 oxygens. Look each one of those up on the periodic table. I look up hydrogen. Hydrogen on the periodic table is 1.01. Phosphorus on a periodic table is 30.97. Plus 4 times oxygen on a periodic table adds up to 98.0. Let's look at the next one. I need to move this camera thingy. Okay, so the very next question, number 13, Mn2Se7. So that is the weight of 2 manganese. On the periodic table, manganese is 54.93, and 7 selenium. Selenium is 78.96. Add that all up, and you should have gotten 662.6 AMUs. Okay, these, by the way, say molecular weight, so AMUs, but if you put 1 mole of it weighs that many grams, it's the same number. Mathematically, it's the exact same thing. Okay, next one, ammonium sulfate. Oh, by the way, let's also just practice naming. NH4 is ammonium ion. SO4 is called sulfate ion. That's ammonium sulfate. That's 2 nitrogens, because distribute that, 2 nitrogens, 2 times 4 or 8 hydrogens, 1 sulfur, and 4 oxygens. Look them all up on the periodic table. 2 times nitrogen, 8 times hydrogen, 1 sulfur, and 4 times oxygen. Add that all up, and I got 132.17. And don't worry about rounding for this. I may or may not have rounded it correctly for sig figs. But point is, you look up each of the elements, and you multiply by how many there are, and add them all up on a periodic table. Okay, for the other column, I'll just put up the answer for, well, sodium hydroxide, that's sodium plus oxygen plus hydrogen. That adds up to 40. H2O's, yeah, here's the rest. H2O is, I didn't show the work, but 2 times hydrogen. Hydrogen on the periodic table, 1.01. Oxygen on the periodic table, 16. Add that up, and you get 18 point, okay, fine. Let's add an extra digit. 18.01 AM, oh, 02 AMUs. Next one, magnesium chloride. Look up magnesium on a periodic table. And I don't remember what magnesium is off the top of my head, and I add 2 chlorines to that, and I got 95.3. I know I didn't show the work here, but we just need to look them all up on the periodic table. Okay, let's look at side 2. Side 2 of this thing, starting question number 15. How many grams are in 4.5 moles of sodium fluoride? So, well, to figure out how many grams are in 4.5 moles of sodium fluoride, I need to figure out how much does 1 mole of sodium fluoride weigh. So that's 1 sodium and 1 fluorine. Sodium on a periodic table, 22.99. Fluorine on a periodic table is 19. Adds up to 41.99. So 1 mole of sodium fluoride weighs almost 42 grams, 41.99. So 4.5 moles would be 4.5 times 41.99, or on my calculator, I got 189. Okay, I think I should have rounded that to 2 sig figs, so 190 if you want to be technical. Okay, 4.5 is 2 sig figs. Let's not worry about sig fig for this right now. Question number, well, next one. Question number 16. So for this one, how many moles are in 98.3 grams aluminum hydroxide? We first need to know how much is 1 mole of aluminum hydroxide weigh. And that is 1 aluminum, 3 oxygens, 3 hydrogens. Adds up to 78 is what I got. So 1 mole weighs 78 grams. We have 98 grams. How many moles? Will be 98 divided by 78, or on my calculator, I got 1.26. Okay. Next question. Oh, well, whatever. Here's the answer. I got 5 grams, and that is because the question is how many grams given 0.02 moles. First thing, find a molar mass. I got 262, sorry, 262.81. And moles times the molar mass was I got 5 grams, 1 sig fig. Okay, next one, question number 18. So for question number 18, it says, how many moles are in 68 grams of copper 2 hydroxide? Found a molar mass of copper 2 hydroxide is 97.57. So 68, my given, divided by the molar mass, 97.57, and I got 0.70. 2 sig figs. Next question. After a while, these should be hopefully a little bit repetitive. Next question, number 19. Paper. Okay, how many grams are in 3.3 moles of potassium sulfide? Find a molar mass, or how much 1 mole of potassium sulfide is. It weighs 110 grams. So 3.3 moles would be 3.3 times 110, or 360. Number 20. Question number 20. It says, how many moles are in 1.2 times 10 to the third grams of ammonia? Molar mass is 17. That's 1 nitrogen, 3 hydrogens. And 1.2 times 10 to the third grams divided by 17 on a periodic table is 70.4. I think I ran out of space for that one, so I wrote on top. Oh, okay, fine. Well, there's the whole answer. Okay, how many grams there are 2.3 times 10 to the minus 4 moles of calcium sulfate, or phosphate, sorry. Calcium phosphate is Ca3PO4, okay, I did it wrong. I calculate phosphites, and it said phosphate, so I'm not going to ask this question to you guys, but notice phosphite is PO3. Okay, let's just pretend it's phosphite because apparently I calculated calcium phosphite and not phosphate. Phosphate is PO4, not PO3. PO3 is phosphite. Okay, but let's pretend that says phosphite. Then that's 3 calcium and 2 phosphoruses and 6 oxygens. Add that all up is 278 if it were calcium phosphite. But again, I calculated calcium phosphite and not calcium phosphate. Okay, let's assume it was calcium phosphite for now. 2.3 times the 278 is 0.064. This should have been calcium phosphate, and that should have been PO4. Of course, that'd be 4 times 2 or 8 oxygens, which obviously would change the answer. So that's another reason why we have to make sure we have the correct formulas of things, because it can change the answers for this stuff later on. Okay, next one, number 22. Is my camera. Okay, how many moles are in 3.4 times 10 to the minus 7 grams of silicon dioxide? First, find a molar mass of silicon dioxide. Found it. I got 68. Well, there's the answer. I got 60.09. I don't know why I said 68. 60.09 grams for silicon dioxide. And 3.4 times 10 to the minus 7 grams of silicon dioxide divided by 60.9. And I got 5.66 times 10 to the minus 9 moles. Okay, what answer did you get for number 23? I got 929, and I got 929 because first find a molar mass of manganese sulfate. That's 3 manganese, 7 sulfurs, and 28 oxygens. 7 times 4 or 28 oxygens. Add that up, and I got 837 grams. Well, 1 mole weighs 837 grams. 1.11 moles, which is what the question is, will weigh 1.11 times 837, or 929 grams. Okay, so this whole worksheet, everything was either a grams to moles or moles to grams problem. What? It's like, these were questions, how many grams given moles? The previous questions, how many moles given grams? First thing you need to find, the molar mass. Okay? First thing you need to find is the molar mass. The molar mass. If you're given moles, you want to find grams, multiply by the molar mass. If you're given grams, you're trying to find moles, divide by the molar mass. So that's just a quick summary of this thing. And how do you find the molar mass? Remember, you need a periodic table. You need to add up everything on the periodic table. Okay, so that was this worksheet, which was called the mole calculations worksheet.